Imagine stepping into a world where magic is real. Dragons soar in the sky, and mythical creatures roam the land. What if you could choose between the most iconic fantasy realms ever created? From the mystical forests of Middle-earth to the wild, untamed lands of Westeros, every world has its own charm. But what makes a fantasy world truly great? Is it the depth of its history, the richness of its cultures, or the complexity of its characters? Or is it the sheer wonder that grips you from the very first page or scene? Today, we're diving into a battle of worlds, a face-off between some of the greatest fantasy realms ever created. Picture yourself walking through the Shire with its rolling green hills and peaceful vibe. Or imagine entering the war-torn streets of King's Landing, where power and betrayal shape every decision. The excitement is real, but the stakes are higher than you might think. What makes these worlds tick? And what can we learn from them about the nature of fantasy itself? Will you gravitate toward the cozy comforts of a hobbit's life, or are you drawn to the thrilling intrigue of royal power plays? Each world presents a unique vision of what it means to live in a fantastical realm. But what happens when we start comparing them, pulling apart the threads that make these universes unforgettable? Today, we'll look at three of the most iconic fantasy worlds ever created: J.R.R. Tolkien's Middle-earth, George R.R. Martin's Westeros, and J.K. Rowling's Wizarding World. These worlds may be fictional, but their influence on our imaginations and cultures is anything but. But how do these worlds stack up against each other? Are their creators' choices about world building so different, or do they have surprising similarities? Stick with me, and we'll break it down together. This is no ordinary discussion. It's a battle, a clash of titans. Every kingdom, every wizarding school, and every enchanted forest will be judged. Are you ready for this epic adventure? In this battle of worlds, there's no right answer, only the journey of discovery. So let's start with Middle-earth, a land of unimaginable beauty and ancient power. Known for its peaceful shire, the sweeping landscapes, and its deep, complex history, Middle-earth is beloved by millions. But beneath its calm, there's an ongoing struggle against dark forces, a theme central to the narrative. Can this calm, nature-infused world stand against the politically charged, brutal realism of Westeros? Or will the raw magic of the wizarding world cast a stronger spell? What makes Middle-earth such an iconic and enduring place for fans of fantasy? To understand this, we must first look at the deep roots of Tolkien's world-building. Tolkien, a linguist, didn't just create a world. He crafted an entire language, mythology, and history. Middle-earth is filled with cultures, traditions, and even conflicts that make it feel as if you're entering a living, breathing place. And while Middle-earth is known for its peace, it also shows the costs of fighting against evil. But does peace alone make a fantasy world great? Let's see how Middle-earth compares to the harsh political world of Westeros. In Westeros, power is the ultimate game, and everyone plays it, no matter the consequences. No matter where you turn, the struggle for the Iron Throne shapes every life in the Seven Kingdoms. The world is grim, and yet it is undeniably captivating. Its depth lies in its complex politics, a web of alliances, betrayals, and shifting loyalties. But is this complexity more exciting than the simplicity and beauty of Middle-earth? Or does it simply reflect the harsh nature of human power struggles? And then there's the wizarding world. It may seem like a light-hearted escape at first glance, but beneath the magic lies a world full of danger and adventure. Let's take a closer
Wizarding
look at
World is a
Middle-earth.
playground
It's
of
a
wonder
world
and
built on
danger,
layers of history,
magic and
mythology,
mystery.
and
But
languages.
how does it compare to the
Tolkien
heavy,
didn't just create
sometimes
characters and
grim
settings.
tone
He created a
of
rich
Middle-earth
tapestry
and
of life.
Westeros?
From the peaceful Shire to the foreboding mines of Moria, every corner tells a story. The languages themselves, Elvish, Dwarvish, become integral parts of the world. The landscapes of Middle-earth are vast and varied, offering everything from serene forests to volcanic wastelands. But the magic of Middle-earth isn't in its geography, it's in its lore. Take the One Ring, for example, a simple object, yet it carries the weight of history and evil. It's a symbol of corruption, of power gone wrong. But the strength of Middle-earth comes from its heroes. Frodo, Aragorn, Gandalf. These are characters that rise to meet impossible challenges, driven by courage and love. But even with all its beauty, Middle-earth faces the ever-present threat of Sauron's evil. This struggle against darkness is something every fan of Tolkien's world can relate to. But then, we move on to Westeros, a land where survival is often more important than heroism. In Westeros, morality is gray, and power is everything. There are no clear-cut heroes. Everyone is struggling for the throne, and no one can be trusted. This world isn't about grand battles between good and evil. It's about personal ambition and political games. Characters like Tyrion Lannister, Daenerys Targaryen, and Jon Snow all have complex motivations. They're not perfect, and that's what makes them compelling. In Westeros, the characters' flaws shape the world just as much as their strengths. It's a brutal world, but it's one that feels deeply real, because every action has consequences. There's no magic like Middle-earth's, but the complexity of human nature takes center stage. But how does it compare to the magical brilliance of the wizarding world? The wizarding world is full of awe and wonder, where magic is part of everyday life. But like the other worlds, it has its own dark side. The battle against Voldemort is every bit as serious as the struggle against Sauron. In many ways, the wizarding world feels more accessible than the other two, more hopeful. But there are deep lessons about loyalty, courage, and identity throughout. Harry Potter, Hermione, and Ron are just as brave and determined as any of the other heroes we've discussed. The magic, the challenges, and the friendships make the wizarding world unforgettable. But is this world's lightness and accessibility what makes it the best? It's easy to dismiss the wizarding world as just kids' stuff, but that would be a mistake. Its ability to connect with readers of all ages is one of its greatest strengths. The wonder of magic is something we all wish we could experience. But does it resonate with the same depth and complexity as the harsh realities of Westeros? Or does Middle-earth's long history give it an advantage in terms of depth? The truth is, every world is incredible in its own right. They offer something unique that captures our imaginations. Some readers want the epic struggle of Middle-earth. Others crave the intense political drama of Westeros. And some find solace in the magic and wonder of the wizarding world. But which one is truly the greatest? The answer isn't easy, and perhaps that's the beauty of it. There is no singular best world. As we've seen, Each world offers something different, but each one draws us in. But what happens when we consider how these worlds reflect our own world? The truth is, the best fantasy worlds are often a mirror to reality. They reflect our struggles, our hopes, and our fears. When you think about it, these worlds aren't so different from our own. They help us understand who we are and what we're capable of. But what if this connection to reality makes one of these worlds more powerful than the others? Could Westeros's political drama, for example, teach us more about ambition and power than the fantastical realms of Middle-earth? Or does Middle-earth's timeless beauty and purity offer something we've lost in our own world? The Wizarding world, with its focus on youth and growth, may offer lessons on resilience that resonate more with today's audience. Ultimately, the greatest fantasy worlds may not be the most magical or the most brutal. They might be the ones that speak to our own human experience the loudest. But what does this say about us as a society? Why are we so drawn to these worlds? Maybe we look to these worlds to show us what we can't always see in our own. They're reflections of ourselves, magnified and transformed. And in that, they become more than just stories. They become mirrors, helping us better understand who we are. The more we immerse ourselves in these worlds, the more we see ourselves reflected. The lesson? Fantasy isn't just about escapism. It's about exploring the depths of humanity in ways we might not always recognize. And maybe that's why we're drawn to them again and again. Perhaps that's the greatest magic of all. So, which world do you choose? Is it the beauty of Middle-earth, the gritty realism of Westeros, or the magical wonder of the Wizarding world? The truth is, we don't need to choose. We can embrace them all, each world offering its own version of truth, beauty, and humanity. And that's why the greatest fantasy worlds are those that resonate most with us. They may be fictional, but they're grounded in the human experience, and that's what makes them truly unforgettable. Which world do you think is the greatest? Think about it. Your answer might just tell you something about who you are. And isn't that the point of all great stories? To help us understand ourselves better? So go ahead, choose your world. In the end, comparing the greatest fantasy worlds is more than just an exercise in fandom. It's a chance to reflect on what we value, what we strive for, and what we fear. Whether you choose the serene beauty of Middle-earth, the political drama of Westeros, or the magical adventure of the Wizarding world, each world has something unique to offer. But don't just take my word for it. Dive into these worlds yourself. You might find that your favorite world is the one that teaches you the most about your own. What can these fantastical worlds reveal about your own struggles and triumphs? Maybe the greatest fantasy world is the one that mirrors your own. So what will you do with the lessons you've learned? Will you take them with you into the real world? Whatever you choose, know this. The greatest fantasy worlds will always live on in our hearts and minds. So step forward, choose your world, and let it change you. The magic is real, and it's waiting for you to find it. So, what's your pick? Choose wisely and embrace the adventure. And remember, the journey doesn't end with just one world. I hope you found the world that calls to you the most. Keep exploring, keep dreaming, and keep discovering, because the best is yet to come. Until next time. The adventure is out there. All you have to do is find it. See you in the next world. Stay curious, stay magical, Stay you. So, choose your adventure wisely. The worlds are waiting for you, and so are the stories. Let them guide you, let them shape you, and most importantly, let them inspire you. This is your time. The world is yours to discover. Go forth and conquer. Until next time, keep dreaming big